Do you yearn for a simpler time where we hadn't evolved legs yet? Have you ever heard of ocean? Did you know that animals can live underwater? That's right.
Without further ado, let's take a look at some of the monstrosities that marine life has to offer.
First up are the deep sea anglerfishes.
Now usually, when someone says deep sea monstrosity, this is probably the first thing you'll think of. It's common knowledge that anglerfish use that glowy dangle on their head to attract prey, but what's really weird about these things is what goes down when they reproduce. In a lot of species of anglerfish, the males are way smaller than the females. The males bite the females, and then digest his own face and fuses into the body of the female. After he fuses, all of his organs atrophy except for his gonads. The male will then get all of his nutrients from the female and continues to exist as basically just a testicle that's attached to the female for the rest of both of their lives, proving once and for all that simping is a behavior created from evolution.
My favorite species of angler is called the sea toad, and it's special. While many of these species are capable of swimming around in the water, the sea toad most often moves by using specially adapted fins as legs. I like to think that the sea toad believes it invented a completely new way to move around. No one tell the sea toad about land animals. It'll get really depressed.
The next animal on our list is two animals, the pearlfish and the sea cucumber. You see, the sea cucumber and the pearlfish have developed quite the relationship. Sea cucumbers are basically a living tube.
They eat by eating sand, absorbing anything nutritious, and excreting the rest out the other side. The pearlfish is vulnerable to predators out in the open, so it needs a place to hide. And the sea cucumber has an anus and very little means to protect anything from going inside. You see where I'm going with this, right? The pearlfish will make a home out of the sea cucumber's butt, and oftentimes, more than one pearlfish can live inside of one cucumber.
Another one.
Next up is the bobbit worm.
Bobbit worms are ambush hunters that burrow into the ground and wait for prey. They have been recorded to get up to lengths of 10 feet or 3 meters long. These worms are nocturnal, and they sense the world with these antennae on their face. When something triggers the antennae, the worm will react and attempt to grab whatever triggered it with horrific mouth parts and pull it down to its inevitable doom. A bobbit worm's mouth parts can move so fast that they can slice a fish clean in half. I know the question on every single one of your minds. How do these things fuck? No one's quite sure how bobbit worm does the nasty, but here's what scientists think.
The animals grow gonads in the lower segments when they mature. When it's time to do the deed, everyone drops the equivalent of a worm penis, and all the worm penises go to the surface of the ocean to have sex with each other.
The human equivalent of bobbit worm sex basically consists of ripping off your dick and throwing it out a window.
Another example of a long wiggly nightmare is the gulper eel. The gulper eel is not only a low-hanging fruit for a blowjob joke, but also an interesting deep-sea fish. The gulper eel varies in length from approximately 3 to 6 feet or 1 to 2 meters. The tail of the gulper eel is equipped with a bioluminescent organ called a photophore, which gives off a pinkish light.
Like many animals on this list, we don't actually know that much about the gulper eel, because it lives at depths that do not allow for easy observation. The gulper eel can open its jaws to nightmarish proportions to try to capture its prey. There are two groups of thought about how this animal feeds. Some people think that it uses its exceptionally large jaws to swallow things much larger than itself, but some people think that it filter feeds with its large maw. It's also possible that it does both. As with most animals on this list, his face is just fucking amazing. I mean, look at that guy. Look how happy he is. If you like this video and want to see more weird videos, maybe sub to the channel. This episode turned out to be more green screen heavy than usual. It wasn't on purpose, but because of the subject matter, I felt like real animal footage fit better. As always, like, sub, and hit the bell, and I will see you all in hell. Okay, bye.
I was just looking for the sports channel, Gary.